Hey guys, it's Ryan here with HobbiesofaMan once again, and today we're going to be doing our Ramble video for the month of April. And, well, I don't really have a topic, so I think we're just going to talk about the channel and stuff, right? So, yeah, I mean, I've had a long day today. It's 8 p.m. right now. Hopefully, I'll get the video out before 9. It's been a long day. My sister's coming in tomorrow with one of her roommates. They're going to be spending the night here. Because they come up for some interviews or something. I can't remember what they told me. And I needed to get the apartment clean also because it's the first time that I've not had anything to do, anything important or any social activities to do in months, basically. Well, that's not exactly true. Technically, I didn't have anything to do during spring break, but I was, somewhere else during spring break, right? So this is the first time in months that I've had time to do chores around the house. Which is good. I managed to clean everything, really deep clean. It felt nice. It's a bit of spring cleaning, as it were. And I'm quite happy with the results. I'm staring at a giant pile of stuff that I've bought that I've not read, and it makes me a little bit anxious, to be honest with you guys. It's all organized-ish, but, when I was younger, I had this big library at my house of my own books, right? I used to go to the used bookstore once a week, buy 2 or 3 books, and eventually those piled up a lot, right? Eventually, when I became an adult, I decided to get rid of as many books as I possibly could. Things that were important to me as a teenager, but were no longer important to me now. And I managed to remove a lot of stuff, but, I think I'm getting to that point now, and I really don't want to do that because, well, there's a certain emotional attachment to everything I have right now, so we'll see. But, yeah, I don't know. This really is going to be a ramble. I'm just going to talk about random shit across the video. If you're interested, I hope you are. Thank you. Appreciate it. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought about anything I said. And if you're not interested, that's fine too. I hope you guys catch a different video on the channel, right? So, yeah, and I guess that's a good transition into my feelings about the channel so far. So, we recently reached a milestone of 4 years on YouTube, which is pretty amazing. The channel is still pretty small for such a long time on YouTube. I don't necessarily think that it's outside of the norm. I think it's pretty standard. But it is a little bit demoralizing, right? If you compare me to all of the other COVID or pandemic era manga tubers, right? East Coast Manga, who I don't think does any videos anymore. HVL Manga, who is dating East Coast, I think, and who doesn't really make videos all that often anymore. And Boogie and Low Holly and, Prom G and all of these guys. Well, I mean, some of them stopped doing videos because they got bored, which is fair. And some of them grew pretty huge and now don't do videos that often, which is also fair. But it made me, I always think about it, like not necessarily because I'm like jealous or upset or like sad about it. But it is like a little bit weird to think about it and be like, what was different about those guys who I respect deeply? I mean, I used to hang out with them or, have like group chats on Instagram and stuff with them before I decided that, I don't really need to be on my phone all the time. And so I got rid of all of those group chats and stuff. And I don't use Discord, so I don't really talk to them anymore. But I deeply respect them. I thought they were pretty cool. I mean, I still reach out to them every once in a while, I guess. How is it that their channels grew and mine didn't? I mean, exponentially, right? Like, Prom is in like the 20Ks. And so was East Coast before he stopped doing videos, if I remember correctly. I can't remember if that's true or not. I don't have numbers in front of me, but why did they succeed where I didn't, right? And I think there's a few reasons for this. One, I think the type of videos are important. I think that the dedication to developing their skills was also quite important. I think that the way they present their stuff is also quite different from me. So I think all of these elements are important. But I don't really worry too much about it. I think about it a lot because I think it's interesting. But I don't really worry about it because of a few things. One, this is not like a side hustle. Like I'm not trying to make money off of this, which I think is different from many people that start YouTube. I'm just kind of having fun. And if I do eventually make money off of this, that'd be cool. I do have, you know, a coffee, and I have thought about a Patreon, and I do have a wish list attached to my channel, but that's not necessarily anything that I expect anyone to support. That's why I don't mention it usually. I just have them because I feel like, I mean, I have over 1,000 subscribers. People have asked me if they want, you know, how to send me stuff before. And so those are two easy avenues. And, you know, people that really want to, you know, share their own money with me will find a way to do so, right? So it's not important. But, you know, that's, you know, main point one. Main point two would be that I don't really like editing. I'm not interested in becoming someone that is skilled at using editing software. I do the most basic stuff. Honestly, the way I edit my videos is I, you know, highlight the whole thing on iMovie. I put it at 2x speed and I just watch it. And erase any stuff that is particularly egregious at 2x speed, because that's how I watch most videos, to be honest with you guys. And so if I'm comfortable with what I'm watching that I made myself at that speed, I think it should be fine, right? Most people will probably be okay with it. The thing is that I don't enunciate my words all that well, so that's a bit not great. Also, I mean, physically, I'm like a neckbeard type person, right? So that's not necessarily someone that most people want to watch, right? So I understand those 2 points, and I don't really have a problem with them because, I mean, that's just how I look, and also that's just not something that I'm super interested in. I made this channel because I wanted to find people to talk to about these things, right? And I have. Some in my personal life, you know, my roommates, I talk to them about this stuff quite often. And also some people online, you know, Darth Penn and Josh and my buddy Robert, who, you know, I knew before starting the channel. And a few others, you know, some people here and there. And also all of the commenters, right? You know, I recognize some of y'all. I don't necessarily remember people's names, but I recognize quite a few of you guys when you guys comment. So I really do appreciate that. And also, it's nice to be able to talk to other YouTubers and not feel like I'm necessarily like just another commenter. Like, I'm sure some people recognize my my icon, even if they don't really know who I am, right? And so that makes me feel a little bit better, which maybe is a bit narcissistic. Like, I feel like I'm more important than someone else because I make content on YouTube compared to someone else. I don't really know. Maybe I have to analyze that myself. I don't necessarily think it's true, but what I mean is, you know, if you're a YouTuber and you make videos, you probably have vidIQ or some other, you know, analyzer attached to your YouTube account, and so you end up seeing when people have a certain number of subscribers, right? And so at least when I look at comments, I sometimes get attracted to those people that have more numbers next to them than other people. I don't necessarily discriminate based on that. I mean, I answer everyone, right? But what I mean is, there's a certain level of like, what's the word? Ethos? Okay, wait, no. Is it logos? I can't remember. Logos, ethos, pathos. Pathos is feeling. Ethos is like, you know, quality. And logos is logic, right? So I guess it would be ethos. There's a certain level of ethos associated with an account that has more subscribers than someone that doesn't. Just because, you know, that's what you assume, right? So that makes me feel a little bit better about, you know, when I comment stuff. Because usually I feel like, I mean, this person's probably never going to see this comment, so I probably shouldn't leave it. But also, I want to share my opinion on what they said, right? And so that's why I leave them. And that's more or less the same idea behind this channel. I want to talk to people. I want to find a community. I want to know that others are interested in what I say. And, you know, you might not be interested in everything I say, because my channel is also quite broad in spectrum, which is also another reason why it doesn't grow so much. And also, I don't have it SEO optimized. I don't really bother doing that. I have like some techniques that I picked up from someone that mentioned it to me that I use, but they're kind of like passively used. They're just things that I did once and then I just copy paste onto everything. since you can, when you upload videos, you can just copy a previous video's template, right? And so you can just use that constantly. So that's what I do. And so that's why there's a certain level of SEO optimization to my videos, but it's not something that I actively seek, which is another reason why my channel doesn't grow. But I think the biggest one is that I don't really nicheify myself enough, right? I mean, I am the broadest technical definition that you could give me is booktuber, right? I talk about books, whether that is comic books, manga, light novels, actual novels, it doesn't really matter. Like I cover, you know, pieces of paper bound that have text in them, right? But that's not really narrow enough for YouTube. You have to be much narrower, right? That's why there's, you know, world building, you know, YouTubers, and then there's YouTubers that only do Harry Potter, or YouTubers that only do Dune, or YouTubers that only do, you know, whatever it is that they may do, Pokemon, something like that. And people that only do one manga, right? Like there's a bunch of Dragon Ball only YouTubers, and then there's a bunch of Naruto only YouTubers, and a bunch of One Piece only YouTubers, right? But I don't have enough passion for any one book series or one fandom to do that. And so I prefer the way that I do it, right? I share discussions and the thoughts and reviews about things that I read and watch that I enjoy. And sometimes that's really successful, like when I did Savage Sword of Conan. I think that was because that was a little bit more negative than my standard video. Or when I tap into something that isn't really covered all that often, like The Wandering Inn. The Wandering Inn is a huge, expansive series. It has a huge following, the vast majority of which seems to be Redditors, people that are on Reddit, maybe chronically or not, on it, I don't know. But I covered The Wandering Inn, and I covered it in the way that I usually do, maybe a little bit more passionately because I was really enjoying it at the time, and I still do, actually. I mean, you know, I say that like it was a long time ago. I mean, like a month ago. And I will hopefully do the same for the next 2 volumes that I've read already. But that was a very successful set of videos for me because, I mean, comparatively, I mean, which means they did 200 views in the first day instead of 20, which is, you know, fair. Because it's something that is not really that well discussed. I mean, there's some booktube channels that talk about The Wandering Inn, like Matt's Fantasy Books, I think is what his channel is called, and Wizardly Reads, too. Well, I mean, I don't really like watching Matt's fantasy books, not because I don't like him, I just don't like, I don't like the way he does reviews because they're all non-spoiler and I don't find that enjoyable to watch. I definitely understand, and I have watched some of his videos to figure out if I want to read something or not, but it's not the type of content that I want to watch, right? I prefer discussion type videos, stuff that more similar to what I do. And Wizardly Reads, I followed him forever, but I don't really watch his content all that much, but I do watch some of it. And they talk about The Wandering Inn. They do it in non-spoiler fashion, and they don't really talk about specific plot points all that often, right? I mean, they're huge. They talk about The Wandering Inn, but not in the way that I think certain people want them to, which is actually something that came up quite a bit in my comments, which was like, oh, thank you, because you actually look at all of the story plotline bits and you talk about them and you share your opinions, and there's like a discussion generated from that, right? And I think that was something that quite a few people that talk about The Wandering Inn don't really do. And so that's why my 2 Wandering Inn videos did so good. That's not necessarily the case for other videos, like the ones for Cradle, you know, and that's because there's other people that talk about Cradle more often. Also, Cradle's a bit, I don't necessarily think older, but it's finished, so people kind of freely discuss it more in other places, not necessarily on YouTube, right? And so there really isn't too much of a need for someone to make a video like mine, right? But, you know, when I make those videos and they happen to be successful, I understand why they are, but I don't necessarily want to chase that formula all the time because that's boring. I don't want this to feel like a job, right? Like, this is just for fun. I have an engineering degree and I'm getting a master's degree in, you know, an MBA, Master's in Business Administration. Like, I will have a proper, traditional, high-level, high-paying job eventually. this is not what this is for. This is just for fun, right? And so I don't really care that I'm not that successful, in the sense that, like, it's fine that I'm not. Would I like to be successful on YouTube? Yes, but the effort to output, or like the effort to benefit cost is not you know, good enough for me. It's not worth it. I don't want to like turn this into my job, because I'll get bored of it, to make money off of it, because I won't make much. Because I don't want to specialize. And so there's no point in me treating it like a job. So I'm going to treat it the way I do now, which is just kind of like, you know, have a schedule, because that makes it like a little bit of pressure is good, but I don't want so much pressure that it like becomes annoying or not fun anymore. But also, like, if I have a lot of videos that month, that's good. And if I don't have enough videos that month, I'm gonna feel a bit bad about it, but it's okay too, right? And I'll cover whatever I feel like covering, right? I didn't do a video for Dune Part 2 because I didn't feel that there was a need for it. I did one for Shogun because I thought it was, you know, something important to talk about. But that one didn't do well, so probably won't do another one. Although I might do one anyways, because I do want to talk about the second half of the Shogun season, because 2 episodes into the second half of the season, I feel like it's less good than the first 5 episodes. And this is because it's kind of like we're at the hump of the story, where things are just kind of looking like not great, and there's a change that has to happen, right? And until that change happens, we're kind of in a slump in the story, right? So I probably will do another video for that. But I don't know. Have I talked enough for this to be a video? I guess I have. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll do this every once in a while. If you guys have questions about, you know, the channel or how I feel about stuff, and for some reason you're interested, drop it down below, you know. Just ask me, and I can give you a short answer if you want. But if you want me to talk about it in a video, let me know that as well in the comment, and I will do that, you know, in next month's Ramble video. Or if it's like a really pressing, important question I want to discuss immediately, I might do a separate video for it. Yeah, maybe that's the way to expand this. I don't know. Yeah. What else is there? I do have some new video ideas planned. Nothing like super special. Like, I want to do a series about what novels and kind of nonfiction books, you know, manga and anime fans should read, right? Like, why weebs should read John Carter of Mars, which is a classic Portal fantasy, or why weebs should read The Wandering Inn, which basically fits exactly into light novels, or why they should read, you know, The Art of War, or, you know, this novel or that novel and stuff like that. Like, that's an idea I've had for quite a while, but I've just never really found a good way to do it. I want to do these, you know, kind of like one-off videos called Book Chatter, which is just talking about something I've been recently enjoying that isn't necessarily a review. It's just kind of, you know, maybe it'll be rehashing some other stuff, and maybe it won't be. I'm not really sure how to do it yet, but it's basically a ramble that is focused on a specific title, right? And I wanted to do this for Cradle, and I wanted to do this for The Wandering Inn, and I probably will do that as well. I, you know, launched the Why I Love series as well, so that's good. I also have some ideas about, you know, something like the Sunday spinner rack or something like that. I haven't really come up with a good name for it, but basically I have like a stack of 50 random single issue comics that I'm not going to read necessarily on my own. I have to have like a reason to do it. And I thought that if I made a series of videos every once in a while, that was just like, okay, this weekend, this Sunday, I sat down to read these 5 different single issue comic books that aren't really related to anything I'm currently collecting. Here's my thoughts on them, why I like them, why I dislike them individually, and how they kind of tie into each other. That might be cool. So there you go. That's the Sunday. The Sunday back issue is probably the right way to kind of go about it. I don't think the spinner rack thing works well, because honestly, I don't think most people my age know what a spinner rack is anyways. There's another set of videos I wanted to do. I have a bunch of new fountain pen inks, and I just got a new fountain pen as well. It comes in on Sunday, so maybe I'll do a new fountain pen video. I really liked doing the ink exploration video that I did months ago when I did, you know, matching diamine inks to manga. So I probably will do another one. But this time maybe I'll do novels or science fiction comic books or something like that. A little bit different, just to kind of keep it fresh. I don't want to always do manga, and especially because my collection is not like complete here. So sometimes a manga that would really fit the ink isn't one that I have with me, so I don't want to necessarily do it like that. So we'll see. What else? I don't know. That's basically all there is to it, I guess. There's a few videos I wanted to do that I have written down somewhere, but I haven't got around to do them. And I will hopefully do that as well. Yeah, so that's my Ramble video for the month. I hope you guys found something vaguely interested in this. Vaguely interesting in this. And if you didn't, I do apologize for wasting your time. But hopefully it wasn't too bad. Yeah, so anyway, thank you guys very much for watching. See you guys later.